Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Are you ready to expand your vocabulary? Let's do it. Last week I shared a special conversation video with you where my husband Dan and I played a board game called Codenames. Throughout this game we learned some new vocabulary, but we didn't really explain the vocabulary as we were playing the game. We were just playing the game naturally. So today I'd like to take 20 of those vocabulary words and explain them in detail, give you some examples, and help you to integrate them into your own conversation. As I was creating this lesson for you, I realized that most of these expressions we use in the Codenames board game were phrasal verbs. I guess phrasal verbs are commonly used, of course, in daily conversation, but especially in games. So I hope that this will help to expand your phrasal verb vocabulary and help you feel comfortable. All right, let's get started with the first expression. Number one, to pick up. There are a lot of different meanings for this phrasal verb to pick up. In fact, there are several meanings for all the expressions that we're going to talk about today. I'm going to focus on specifically how to use in the conversation. And this means to learn something naturally without studying. This could be in a good way, or it could be in a bad way. So let me give you some sample sentences. In the conversation lesson, I said, you'll pick it up. That means that you'll learn naturally without study. Dan was trying to explain some of the rules of the board game, and I said, you'll pick it up. That means you'll learn the rules as we are playing without studying them. This is in a positive way. You want to be able to pick up new ideas in English, new expressions. When you're listening to my videos and when you're listening to the radio, you'll probably pick up new expressions. You didn't study them, you just simply learned them naturally. This is positive, but we could also use this in a more negative way. My 5-year-old daughter picked up some bad habits when she visited our neighbor's house. That means that maybe our neighbors were using some bad words, or they were fighting with each other. Well, these are bad habits. So she picked up the bad habits when she visited the neighbor's house. This is a negative thing. You don't want to naturally learn bad behavior, but, it happens. So what we're going to do with each of these expressions is you're about to see a clip from the original conversation where we've used the expressions. You're going to see Dan and I having that board game conversation, and I hope that it will help you to just see how they're used in the original context. All right, let's watch the clip.
Give each other a one-word hint to guess the right word, or the word we're trying to think of.
Yeah,
and actually, give each other a one-word hint to guess the right word, or the word we're trying to think of.
Yeah,
and actually,
Number 2, to be a stretch. You might know that stretching is the kind of exercise that you do before you go running. You need to stretch your muscles. This expression, though, is a little bit different, but it has a similar idea. This means that it's far from reality. We use this expression a lot in the conversation lesson. We were specifically talking about connecting words together, and sometimes the words didn't exactly connect so easily. So we said some words are a stretch. This means that they might not connect so easily. If you've already watched that lesson, then you know what I'm talking about, but it's still interesting and useful to use. We can also say, I know that it's a stretch, but could you walk my dog for the next 2 weeks while I'm gone? This is kind of a lot to ask of somebody. 2 weeks walking your dog, that's a lot of extra work. And you're also assuming that your friend is available, that your friend has time, that your friend wants to do it. So you're adding the expression, I know that it's a stretch, but could you help me with this big task? So you're already letting them know, I know it's a big deal, I know that this is a lot to ask you. And you're adding that expression, I know that it's a stretch. Or if you have a business meeting and your boss says, okay, I need all of the reports finished by 3 o'clock. Well, if there's a lot to do, you might say, well, it's gonna be a stretch to finish the reports by 3 o'clock. It's gonna be kind of far from reality. It's gonna be pretty difficult. It's not impossible, but it's a little difficult. It's gonna be a stretch to finish the reports by 3 o'clock. All right, let's see the original clip so you can see how to use to be a stretch. There are 3 cards here on the table that relate to that word. Some of them might be closely related. Some of them might be a stretch. There are 3 cards here on the table that relate to that word. Some of them might be closely related. Some of them might be a stretch. The next expression is to mark off. This is another phrasal verb, and it means you're noting something as completed. It's the same as to check off something. You are marking it off. So let's take a look at some sample sentences. In the conversation, I said, I'm going to mark it off. And that means that I have a list of words, and I'm simply going to check that word or cross it off. As you can see, there are a lot of phrasal verbs that have a similar meaning. To mark off something, to check off something, to cross off something. And this means that I'm just noting this word is finished. This word is completed. You can also say, I feel satisfied when I mark off items from my to-do list. If you're the kind of person who likes to make lists in the morning of every day, you say, today these are the 3 things I want to accomplish. Well, at the end of the day, hopefully you will be able to mark off, I did this, I did this, I did this. You'll be able to mark them off and you'll feel satisfied because you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. All right, let's watch the clips. You can see how to use this. So that means that this word is finished. All right, I'm gonna mark it off on my paper. So that means that this word is finished. All right, I'm gonna mark it off on my paper. The next expression is to give away. There are a couple different ways to use this expression, but in the conversation, we were talking about revealing a surprise. So I said, I can't give it away. When you are the person who is giving a clue to someone else in this game, you can't give away what the answer is. You need to keep it a secret. You can't reveal the secret. I can't give it away. I need to keep it a secret. Or you might say, it was amazing that none of my students gave away the Christmas surprise. So many years ago, when Dan and I were teaching English to elementary school kids in Korea, for Christmas I wanted to give him a special Christmas present, and so I went to all of his students, and each student said something special to him. A lot of them said, oh, you're so kind, teacher. Oh, you're so funny. I love your class. Just a little comment like this. And I filmed all of them. There were probably 50, 60, 70 students. Usually kids aren't good at keeping secrets. But you know what? I couldn't believe that none of the students gave it away. So when I actually gave him that video as a Christmas present, he had no idea. I was pretty shocked because I thought that for sure one of the students will say, Teacher Daniel, we filmed a video for you. But no, everyone kept their mouth shut. No one gave it away. So this is a great way to use this expression to give away something, another phrasal verb. All right, let's watch the video so you can see how to use this in its original context.
Well, cheese comes in a wheel. You call it a cheese wheel. You call it a cheese wheel.
Don't make me make a facial expression. I can't give it away.
Wheel. Well, cheese comes in a wheel. You call it a cheese wheel. You call it a cheese wheel.
Don't make me make a facial expression. I can't give it away.
Wheel.
The next expression, another phrasal verb, is to clash with something. And this means that it doesn't go with or it goes against something. So in the conversation, I said, it's not going to clash with the other words. I wanted to make sure that my word, my hint or my clue, it went well with the other words. So I used the expression to clash with. It didn't clash with the other words. Let's take a look at another example. The green striped shirt and the yellow polka dotted pants clashed with each other. So this means they don't look good together. If you wore those two things together, it would look a little bit strange. So we can say in this situation, they don't go well together, they clash with each other. All right, let's take a look at how this is used in the original conversation.
Another hint. I have another hint. Ready?
Okay.
Let me make sure that it's not going to clash with any of the other words. Another hint. I have another hint. Ready?
Okay.
Let me make sure that it's not going to clash with any of the other words.
The next expression, the next phrasal verb, is to start out with. And this is used when you're starting a series of events. So other things are going to happen after that first event. I said I'm going to start out with gear. Gear was the word that I chose, so I pointed to that word. And this means I'm going to choose other words after the word gear, but that's just the first one. So that's why I use this phrasal verb, start out with. Let's look at another example. When you make bread, you need to start out with all of the ingredients. This is a simple thing. Of course, you need to start out with a good recipe, and of course, you need to start out with all of the ingredients. Ideally, put all of the ingredients on your table, and then you can start the process of making bread. So this is the first thing in a series of events. Start out with all of the ingredients, and then you are at least on the right path. All right, let's watch the original clip.
So I'm going to start out with gear.
Good work.
That's easy.
All right, we got gear.
So I'm going to start out with gear.
Good work.
That's easy.
All right, we got gear.
The next expression is a little slang, and it is to be lame. Lame usually refers to someone who can't walk, and it's not a very kind expression, but in this situation, it just means something that's not cool. And this is very casual. So in the conversation, Dan said, it's lame of me to do this. And he just simply meant, it's not cool of me to do this. In the board game, you're trying to think of a clue for multiple words, but he only made a clue for one word. This is kind of easy, kind of simple. It's not very amazing. So he said, it's lame to do this. It's not so cool to do this. Let's take a look at another way that we commonly use this. If your friend is telling you about her date that she had last night, she might say, my boyfriend said he was going to come at 6 p.m., but he didn't come until 7. You can reply, wow, that's lame. That means that's not cool. This is not acceptable, especially if he didn't call you in advance, he didn't have a good excuse. You could just say, wow, that's lame. So when someone tells you something that you think is not cool, you can just simply say, oh, that's lame. And I'm sure you're going to hear this all the time in movies and TV shows, so now you know what it means. All right, let's watch the original clip.
I have a hint ready.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to make it easy. It's kind of lame of me to do this, but I have a hint ready.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to make it easy. It's kind of lame of me to do this, but...
The next expression, the next phrasal verb, is to go with something. You might think that this means you are leaving the house with someone, to go with someone, but no, in this situation, it just means to choose something. So in the conversation with Dan, the original conversation, I said, I'm going to go with rice. Go with rice. And rice is just the option that I chose. We often use this in restaurant situations when you're ordering, so you could say, I'm going to go with the daily special and a glass of wine. This just means I would like to order those two things. If you'd like to check out some more expressions and common questions that are used at restaurants, especially if you're going to order food in the US, make sure you check out this video I made up here because you can learn all about restaurant situations. Before we look at the clip, let's look at another example. When you're talking about your vacation, you might say, we decided to go with the city tour instead of the museum tour. This means we decided to choose the city tour instead of the museum tour. And it's just another way to say to choose something. All right, let's watch the original clip.
She didn't get the last one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, there's both rice and kitchen on the table, but I feel like rice is a lot more specific.
She didn't get the last one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, there's both rice and kitchen on the table, but I feel like rice is a lot more specific.
The next expression, and you guessed it, phrasal verb, is to use up. And this means to use something completely. There's nothing left. In the original conversation, I said, we only used up 2 guesses. That means that we have a limited amount of guesses, and 2 of those are completely used, or are completely used up. Let's take a look at another example. If you use up the milk, please throw away the container. Don't put it back in the fridge. If you use it up, throw it away. Or recycle it, but don't put it back in the fridge. If this is a common issue in your house, then you'll probably think about this phrasal verb a lot. If you use up the toilet paper, please take the roll out of the stand and put in a new one. If you use something up, it's polite to replace it. All right, let's look at the original clips. You can see how this was used.
Okay, so we only used up 2 wrong guesses, so we have 5 more. Okay, so we only used up 2 wrong guesses, so we have 5 more.
The next expression and phrasal verb is to jump out at. And this means it's just easy to see something. So in the conversation we said, nothing is jumping out at me. We were looking at the different words, and no specific word was easily visible. Maybe we were trying to connect different things, and there wasn't one that was an obvious answer. Well, nothing's jumping out at me. If your teacher asks you, well, look at the page and try to find the answer to this question. After 10 minutes, maybe you don't have the answer. You could say, nothing jumped out at me. I have no idea what the answer is. And then she might say, oh, you're looking at the wrong chapter. Look at this chapter. So it means something on the page is almost jumping out at you, so it's easily visible. Or you could say, Dan's red hair jumps out at you, so he's easy to find. Whenever I go to a place where there's a lot of people and I'm looking for Dan, I always look for his hair because it jumps out at me. It's unusual, it's usually big and curly and red, so it's easy for me to see. It jumps out at me. All right, let's take a look at the original clip from the conversation.
Nature's such a broad word, but I chose it.
All right. Well, nothing's seriously jumping out at me except for butterfly.
Nature's such a broad word, but I chose it.
Oh. All right. Well, nothing's seriously jumping out at me except for butterfly.
The next expression is not a phrasal verb. It is Hail Mary. This means a final, desperate attempt to do something. It might seem like this has some Catholic origins because we're talking about Mary, the mother of Jesus, and there are some Catholic beginnings to this expression, but the main reason that we use this expression is because of American football, where we throw the ball, we don't kick the ball, we throw the ball, and in this situation, it's when you're about to lose the game. You have no other options, so one of the players throws the ball almost blindly at the other end of the field, hoping someone please catch it because we only have 10 seconds left in the game, we're going to lose. That's called a Hail Mary pass. I never thought that I'd be explaining sports or American football on this channel, but it's really related to this expression. So we often integrate this into just other situations in life. Dan said, you get a Hail Mary guess. That means at the end of the game, you're about to lose, you don't know what you're going to do. Well, in the rules of the game, you get one final desperate attempt. This is one final guess, and if you get it, you could win. If you don't, you are definitely going to lose. So it's kind of a desperate attempt, a Hail Mary guess. Let's take a look at another example. After she broke up with him, he sent her flowers and chocolate and a love note as a Hail Mary attempt to win her back. So in this situation, she has already broken up with him. Their relationship is finished. But he wants one final desperate attempt. Please don't break up with me. So he sends her all these nice things, as a Hail Mary attempt. We use this as an adjective to describe something. A Hail Mary guess or a Hail Mary attempt to win her back. Alright, let's take a look at the original clip so you can see how this was used.
I think in the rules you get like a Hail Mary guess at the end.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's one Hail Mary guess at the end. I think in the rules you get like a Hail Mary guess at the end.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's one Hail Mary guess at the end.
The next expression is a toss-up. Note that this is a noun. We need a in front of this expression. It kind of looks like a phrasal verb, right? Toss can be a verb, up can be a preposition, but in this situation, it's a noun, a toss-up. And it means an outcome can't be predicted between two options. You have no idea if this one's going to win or if this one's going to win, which one's going to be better. It is unpredictable which one is going to be chosen. All right, let's look at some examples. In the original conversation, we said it's a toss-up between earth and fog. I think my original clue was nature, and Dan was trying to guess which word is related to nature, earth or fog. And he said it's a toss-up. Both words are equally related to nature. Earth and fog, I don't know, it's a toss-up. Let's look at another example. Both teams are playing so well. It's a toss-up. Who will win? We don't know who will win because both teams are playing so well. So make sure you use this as a noun. It's a toss-up. When you hear this as a verb, it's generally a physical action. He tossed up the ball into the air. Okay, but this is as a noun. It's a toss-up. Who will win? I don't know. All right, let's look at the original conversation clip.
Earth was a little more.
Yeah, that's a little
But I
funny.
mean, it was a toss-up.
Yeah, I feel like if it were butterfly and earth, I probably would have said a different word.
Because we say Mother Earth. Earth was a little more.
Yeah, that's a little
But I
funny.
mean, it was a toss-up.
Yeah, I feel like if it were butterfly and earth, I probably would have said a different word.
Because we say Mother Earth.
The next expression is early on. This expression is almost exactly the same thing as just the word early. In the conversation, we said it's early on in the game. This means it's almost the beginning of the game. It's early on in the game. In this sentence, you can also say it's early in the game. Using on is not a requirement in this sentence. It's just another way to say this expression. It's early in the game or it's early on in the game. But let's look at another sentence where you need to say early on and you can't say early. I knew early on that this lesson would help my vocabulary grow. In this situation, we're talking about at the beginning, when you first clicked on this video,